Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, and I'm here with VSG Bobby.
Hi.
I know you guys may not recognize him. You haven't seen him in a really long time. And Gastric Tiger Scott may be hopefully popping back in. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty, but I wanted to get started. We're also having a technical difficulty with my hair, but you'll have to get over that. So I'll introduce Scott when he gets on. Oh, there he is. Can we hear you?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yay!
Awesome. I switch out headphones.
Okay, perfect. So Scott, Gastric Tiger, is my co-host for tonight, and you've been co-host a couple times on this before, yes?
Yeah. I've at least been a guest a couple times. So.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So Bobby's here, and just before we get into that, just wanted to do like kind of a quick update about what's been going on. I know, Bobby, you have like a year's worth of stuff to tell us, but what's been going on with you this week?
This week? Well, it was Halloween. I ate a ton of candy.
You had a very cute costume.
Thank you, yeah. Me and my boyfriend were like zombie lumbersexuals.
I have that same shirt. And when I wore it, everybody said I was copying Lauren Dayton.
Yeah, so I don't know. I started a new job 2 weeks ago, so I'm kind of adjusting to that, and that's where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Scott, how about you? What you been up to this week?
It's been kind of crazy this week. Got back from OH and then had surgery on my leg the following Monday. And luckily that went really smoothly and everything worked out well, but I've been laid up this last week and trying to get a new furnace in my house because it's getting to be cold and the other one was not working, and so that's another thing I've been dealing with. And of course it's the World Series, so been watching the Royals, enjoying watching them. So, you know, tonight could be the night to take back the crown.
Beforehand, he told me he was watching a game in the background. I'm like, is it football? Is it baseball? That's how like in the loop about that stuff I am.
Yep.
I was in Mexico this week, as everybody knows, because I posted 9 million selfies in Mexico. It was kind of amazing, and I definitely think I was at the Hard Rock Riviera Maya Resort, and I think we definitely need to have a weight loss surgery meetup there because it was pretty amazing. So real quickly, I wanted to go into community celebrations. So first, Scott, Gastric Tiger, you celebrated your 2-year surgiversary.
Yep, this last Wednesday.
Yay! Awesome. Dennis Vinay, he's going to be adopting his husband's kids, Jonathan and Alex. So that's going to be final November 13th, which is awesome. Lisa VSG English is celebrating the fact that she booked and paid a deposit on her plastics, which I wish I could say the same thing. Carolyn Turner is celebrating her first week at a new job and wearing super professional attire, including heels. I remember that. That was a big shift for me to go into a professional situation feeling like I hadn't like cobbled something together that fit, so that feels really good. Carrie Groves McGuire says she put in more steps this week because she's working somewhere else and not able to get workouts in.
Mm-hmm.
And Amy Nunez, who I think the Facebook police must have caught her because her name has changed, but she's our Australian Amy. She found out that she's having a girl. Ooh. So congratulations, Amy. Sleeve rocker Pete Whiteman had some good news regarding medical tests that he had, so that's great.
That's good.
And Christy Collins and her husband are celebrating their 1-year anniversary. So those are our shout-outs for this week. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Just remind me next week, and I'll hit it next week when I'm not traveling.
Yep.
Okay, so we want to jump in and find out what Bobby's been up to?
Absolutely. So Bobby, we haven't seen you in such a long time. Can you just kind of fill us in on where you're at and where you've come from as far as your stats go?
Yeah. So haven't done this in a long time, but my highest weight before surgery was 316. My surgery weight was 297, and my lowest weight was 175. Right now, I'm maintaining between like 185 to 187. So my BMI right now is about a 27.3. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
That's pretty amazing.
Awesome.
So, of course, you know what the first question is, right?
What's that?
Where the hell have you been for a year?
Yeah, so it's been a really long time since my last video. I think the last video I actually posted was, it might have been like Katie's Surgiversary video that I made. But my own personal video was my 1 year that I made. I think, was it the 1 year? Yeah. But so I made kind of my 1 year Surgiversary video. I made the goal video, the big G video, and then kind of fell off the face of the earth. Really, since then, I mean, I'm trying to think. It's been almost a year now. I've just been.
Go ahead, say it. Living life.
No, I don't want to say it.
He's been living life. Well, you know what? I've been living life too, and I make videos every week.
Yeah. I could totally be making videos, but I don't think anyone would watch.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
It hasn't. Not much has been, different, except for the fact that I'm really kicking myself in the butt. Recently, I need to get back on track with things, but that's, I'm sure, a lot of people can share in.
Yeah. So, Scott, before you go on to the next question, I just want to say, for some reason, comments are disabled on the video. While you're doing this next question, I'm going to try to figure that out. But if people want to post on Facebook on the link or message me, then I will read your comments out. But I'm going to try to fix it right now.
All right. So Lauren had posted a comment, and this piggybacks on what we just talked about. Lauren asked it better than any of us could. She said, "When is that sprightly little ginger going to make a YouTube update?" He was all, "I'm gay, and peace out, homies. Deuces," drops the mic. I'm not having that. So, do you know if you'll ever make videos again or rejoin the WLS community?
Leave it to Lauren to be real. And she could say that. Yeah. So I am planning on actually making like a 2-year Surgiversary video when that comes up. So sometime in December I'll be doing that. So next month I'll be doing something.
Cool.
Very good. What about Facebook?
What's that?
What about Facebook?
I honestly don't even remember my login for Facebook, for my weight loss Facebook. So I don't know what I could do with that. I'll have to find out.
Okay, before I ask you the next question, Patty sent me a special message for you. Well, she says it's from us, so I'll say it's from Patty and I, even though she wrote it. I agree.
My West Coast mamas.
Yeah, your West Coast mamas. We adore the person you are, Bobby. We were so totally impressed by how endearing, fun-loving, and open to hang out with us young ladies you were. You were charismatic, so caring, and so full of life. We loved every moment we spent with you and are so happy that you are living your true life full of love. We love you, your West Coast mamas, always and forever.
Aww.
And you know what he did was that it was like the sweetest thing ever. He messaged us on Mother's Day.
Aww.
It's like
that is so sweet.
I don't think my own son messaged me on Mother's Day. Anyway, okay. So I didn't fix the comments, but I know Gretchen VSG is watching, Sleeve Rocker's watching, a beautiful Alicia is watching, I'm sure Patty's watching, and we'll start figuring this out. But so let's go back to the very beginning. Can you kind of let us know what your story is around weight? Were you overweight as a child? That kind of thing.
Okay. So when I was a baby, I was actually pretty skinny growing up as a kid.
Were you like 7 pounds when you were born?
I was a normal baby, yeah.
Okay.
I came out totally normal. It wasn't until I was 8 or 9 where I started putting on weight. and then after that kind of spiral effect, was getting heavier and heavier. And by the time I got to high school, I was very, I was pretty obese. And then, towards college, I put on the most weight that I ever did in like a short period. And then kind of really hit my highest weight at the end of when I graduated from my master's program. So that was when I kind of started having thoughts about like, all right, I gotta get my shit in line. Like, what am I gonna do? And that's when I started trying, different things. Because before that, I really hadn't done anything about my weight actively.
Did your family at all try to manage your weight?
My whole family has weight problems. So, I mean, as much as my mom and dad trying to put healthier things in the house, that's as far as it really went. I mean, it really wasn't more than that.
Yeah, I think I was just fortunate that my son took after his dad's side of the family. Because I mean, he's skinny, but I didn't do anything really that would have contributed him not being overweight if he had had the propensity towards that.
Yep. So, how did you adapt your behavior to cope with being overweight?
Like, growing up?
Anyway, really, were you the class clown? Did you do things that...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In high school, like, I definitely tried covering, all my insecurities up with being the class clown. The typical, like, oh, well, I'm fat and whatever. I don't have any self-esteem. Let me try to compensate for that, through just me trying to make a fool of myself. Yeah, that's what I did a lot.
Yeah.
And you touched on this already, but there are other everybody else in your family has weight issues as well.
Yeah, in my immediate family, both my parents, my sister, are overweight. And as you guys know, both my parents had surgery. My dad had the gastric bypass probably 10 years ago. My mom recently had, I think, probably a little over a year ago, maybe.
Yeah, that's about right.
Had the gastric bypass as well.
Mm-hmm.
They both have obesity on both of their sides of the family, so it definitely is rampant. And my sister is now actually, she just had a baby, sort of a 3-month-old little niece, and now that she's had that baby and she's stopping it there, she said that she's gonna start looking into surgery too, actually.
Yeah. So, as a family, I mean, that completely changes your dynamic as a family now that you've all had surgery. How has that made like family stuff different?
I think it's been really helpful. Being able to see my dad go through it, to see the benefits that it's brought him, definitely encouraged me to do it. But also seeing kind of the struggles that he went through before I had it done, to things that I could look out for. And now that my mom's had it done as well, we kind of all are in the same boat as far as our own diet and our own food and drinks that we can eat. So that kind of stuff, it definitely helps, and it's a good support system to have. A lot of people in the family, and even outside my immediate family, my aunts, uncles, cousins, they all had it, too. So
right.
I have a little support network through them as well.
So watching your dad go through it, did that influence which surgery you decided to have?
I actually wanted to do the same one as he did, the bypass initially, but my surgeon didn't want to. He kind of convinced me to stick with the sleeve. Which after he explained to me made a lot more sense. He said for younger people it's better, especially with issues with alcohol, and that I would benefit more from the sleep based on eating habits. So I went with that, and it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you guys get on each other's case if you see each other eating things that you...
Oh, all the time, yeah. Especially now. I mean, I used to be the worst because when I was all gung-ho about
Yes.
it.
Yep.
That first year judgy stage?
Yep. I was like, Dad, should you really be eating that? Mom, let's talk about it. Now I'm like,
Eh.
Yep.
So what did you do pre-op? So you said you gained most of your weight probably, between high school and college and that area. What did you do to try to control your weight before you decided to have weight loss surgery?
when I really decided, okay, I need to do something, I first tried, regular dieting, let me watch what I eat, let me stop going to McDonald's and all that, which helped a little bit, but it always came back. The first thing I actually did in like a structured program, I did Weight Watchers with my cousin Amber, who also had the surgery. There was like a
Do you guys get a family discount?
I know. Believe the surgeon loves us because we refer everyone to him.
You all had it with the same surgeon?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep. So he loves us. We're in like his like little promotional video. So yeah, he's like keep it in the family. But yeah, the only actual structured kind of weight loss thing that I did was the Weight Watchers, and I did that for a little while with my cousin Amber. They had like a young adult program, so we did that. But we lost the motivation. Stuff started coming back. Wasn't happening as fast as we wanted to, so didn't work out with that. And that was really it.
Really quickly before Scott goes on, we have a couple of Facebook messages. Shauna Elliott says that she's watching, and beautiful Alicia, I lost her damn comment, says, please tell Bobby I miss you so much and love you.
Miss you too, love you too.
Nice to see your gorgeous face.
Mwah.
So, okay.
So, and I just got a message from Phil saying that they had the same problem with comments last Friday too.
Oh, okay.
So Phil's watching.
Okay.
All right. So all of us get to that point where we hit the wall and decide that we really need to do something. What was your breaking point that you decided to have weight loss surgery?
This is the one major thing that I remember was, and it was part of my first video that I made. My breaking point when I decided, okay, enough's enough, I need to do something now, was I went down to Florida to see my cousins, and we went to Universal, and I'm all excited to go on the rides, and I hadn't been to Universal in a while, and I never had an issue getting on rides, but fast forward a few years and a few more pounds, I tried to go on this one ride. What was it? The Hulk. And
you would think the Hulk you could have gotten on, right?
Right. That's so ironic.
The Hulk. Try to get on the Hulk. I'm even in the big person seat, and they try to. It's me and my cousin, he's also a pretty big guy too. But I'm bigger than him. Me and my cousin are in the big people seat, and they go to clamp me down in the seat, and it doesn't fit. And they're pushing down, they're trying, and they're like, nope, it's not going to happen. And there was this big procedure. They had to throw up their hands and say something we got a code 25, and I was like, what's a code 25? It was so embarrassing. It was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
Yeah.
And I had to get off the ride after waiting an hour and a half to get on, and that was my breaking point. I was like, I can't be humiliated like this anymore. And I'm so young, and I'm already not able to do things that I want to be doing, and that's when I decided I have to do something.
And I think your before and after pictures have always really gotten to me because you look like a 45-year-old man. in your before picture, and then look, he's 25.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, I've been told.
It's what? I remember showing those to my son, and he's like, "That's the same guy." Yeah. So did you have the weight loss surgeon on speed dial, and you just called him up?
Dr. Rod, my dad, I'm next.
What was your process to get surgery?
So I went with, actually, it was my cousin's idea. She brought it up to me that she was thinking about it, and she already went to her parents, my aunt and uncle, already got the surgery. And so she comes to me and she's like, FYI, I want to tell you, like, I went to the seminar for Dr. Ahmad, and I'm going to get the surgery. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? You're so young. Like, let's try to do something else. Like, you know, and I was trying to convince her not to. Then she's like, just come with me to the orientation, the seminar. We'll go to another one. Just come with me. So I went, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, there's kids my age doing this. You know, it's worked for them. And so that's when I signed up for my first initial appointment. We went over everything, what he suggested, what I was looking to achieve. And on that first meeting with him, he kind of set out what I had to do, you know, the 6 months weight loss attempts, you know, weigh-ins, all the nutrition and psychological assessments and all that that I did, and all the sleep study issues that I had, because I had sleep apnea, I didn't have sleep apnea.
Oh, they weren't sure? That you're pretty young for that.
I know. I was borderline. I was like on the borderline for having it, so did all that, and yeah.
And then you had the surgery.
And then I had the surgery December 18th.
So I know that we all kind of have preconceived ideas about what it's going to be like post-WLS when we're in that process. How did your ideas about what it was going to be differ from what it actually was?
I mean, I didn't go into it with too many preconceived notions as to like what I was expecting. I can honestly say because of that, like I was blown out of the water, you know. I was very happily surprised, you know, the results that came from it. And I kind of went into it with like a very, not negative, but like a very realistic kind of belief that, listen, this is just going to be another one of those attempts, and from all the failed, you know, weight loss attempts before, I didn't have much belief. So I kind of went in with the mindset that hopefully this works, but there's a chance that, you know, it won't, and, you know, let's hope for the best, but, you know, we'll see. And so fast forward a year, I was very pleasantly surprised, obviously, to, you know, be where I am now. You know,
was the biggest surprise that it actually worked? That was kind of my biggest surprise.
Yeah, that I think, you know, that within a year I was at my goal weight. And I had achieved my, you know, bucket list that I set out to do. And there's a whole lot of, you know, extra things there. Everything else that I've gained through the whole process, you know, the whole social aspect to this whole entire thing is, I think, bigger than any weight loss aspect to it.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that were on your bucket list?
Number one was skydiving. So when it happened, it was like, and that was another issue. Like Lauren and I went 3 times to go skydiving.
But you finally did it, right?
Finally did it. So that was my big one, the skydiving. I had a lot of like kind of not little, but like different, like not like, oh, I want to go skydiving. Like that was the more like, you know, scary stuff. But like kind of just life goals about like being more comfortable in my skin, getting to dating again.
Well, that brings up something that I had a question from Patty about. We're going to talk about this in a little while. But do you think that having weight loss surgery and that experience contributed to your ability to come out about your sexuality?
1000%, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. And we'll talk about that more in a minute. Because we all want to talk about your sexuality.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk to you about exercise. What role has that played in your journey, and what do you do now?
Early on, you guys know, I was really big into running, the gym.
Yeah, we were running buddies there at the beginning.
Yeah. You know, the C to 5K was a big part of my journey. Being able to complete the C to 5K app and then actually running the 5Ks. I I remember crying at the first 5K that I ran. You know, when I got to the end, I was actually crying, and it was just like a flood of emotion. But just being able to do something that I never imagined I would even want to do.
Yeah.
But 100%, I think the C to 5K, the running, you know, was a big part of within the first year of my journey.
Yeah.
Was a big part. Now, I'm beating myself up. I really keep telling myself I gotta get back to the gym. I gotta get back to the gym. I recently moved out of my parents' house a few towns over, so I canceled my gym membership. Now I'm back at my parents' house. Funny story.
Tell us the funny story. You don't have to if you don't want to, but.
So in brief, I think I mentioned in one of my last videos, probably the Big G, you know, coming out video, that I started seeing this guy. It actually got pretty serious. He was like one of the first people I went on a date with after I came out. We actually moved in together. Found a really awesome place. We were renting an apartment. Did that for a few months. Ended up hating each other.
That's not good.
Yeah, it was rough, to say the least. But then, you know, now I'm back in with my parents. Can't complain. But I haven't gotten my gym membership back, so I really, really need to do that. I haven't been to the gym, and I couldn't tell you how long. So that's my new goal for November 1st is today. So I'm going to start it like
today.
Yep.
We have a comment from Marvin Camilo Valentine, which I think is Panchito Bear. It's Walter's friend. It says, very inspirational interview, and I'm so relating to your trials and tribulations. Way to go.
Cool.
So
he's an awesome too.
Yeah, he's doing great too.
Yeah.
You reached your goal pretty quickly, and I think you sort of touched on that you didn't anticipate having that kind of success. What did reaching goal feel like for you?
I had, you know, I remember right around the time that I hit my goal weight, I made this kind of thought process. I changed my thought process about what goal was for me, because right around the time I was getting to my goal weight, I had been watching Sarah Waffles' goal video, and what she talked about was, you know, goal to her, and, you know, it really kind of woke me up as to say, like, well, goal for all of us is getting to a healthier weight, right? But there's so much more in that, and there's so much more tied to that, you know, I think is a little bit more important than what's on the scale. So reaching my goal weight was certainly a huge success and a huge, you know, relief, and was a big event for me. I was extremely happy. But I think it was more about the whole experience until that point that was really more meaningful. All the things I was able to do in my first year, within my first year of having the surgery, was just amazing. And the people that I met, the things I was able to do, the places that I've gone. You know,
it's so incredible.
Yeah.
That was literally the best year I ever had. So.
Yeah. So you're approaching 2 years out now. So, you know, that wonderful honeymoon period is gone, and it comes to the point where you start really coming up against some struggles. So can you tell us about some of those biggest struggles you've had post-op, after surgery, and then in this last year?
Okay, so just like starting with kind of the struggles right after surgery, definitely I think the obvious kind of uncomfortable things that happened after surgery were difficult, but
what are the obvious things that were difficult?
You know, the change in like what you were able to eat, the psychological,
right?
You know,
emotional stuff.
Hunger. The psychological hunger was a big thing for me. You know, missing being able to eat things, especially early on, the first couple of weeks. You know, those were struggles. But more so, I think, when I got to the 6 month out and things really started slowing down, I started getting the old feelings back that things weren't working anymore, and I would gain everything back, and those doubts came back. That was some of the struggles that was happening within the first year. Now more so, after that honeymoon phase, I think the biggest part for me right now where I am is I've been very I've had a lot of to this point it's been very easy to stick around 180, and that was my goal. Like, I wanted to stay around 180, but recently within the last few months I've been putting on some weight. I'm at like 187 now, and I think just that kind of struggle now is worrying about the weight gain and seeing how easy it is for that number to go up, and how easy it is to remember the feeling discouraged when you're focusing so much on the scale. And I need to kind of remember my first year and all the things I told myself about the scale, and having to hide the scale and put it away, and not focusing so much on that, but what you're able to do, and just being true to yourself. Listen, 187, okay, that's not going to make or break me. Let's get back to the gym. You haven't been in 8 months.
Right. Yeah, and it's so easy to lose focus on what really matters at this point in the game, because you want that scale number, but you forget that it's more than just the scale.
I mean, I don't know. I guess because I'm still in the losing phase and have, a bit of a way to go. I guess for me, I just say, when is that denial? Just throwing that out there for me, because I have to. If I'm not on it regularly, it's really easy for that stuff to, for those pounds to pile back up. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, especially during the losing phase.
Yeah. So I have to kind of be on top of it. Did your doctor have like a specific diet progression with the nutritionists and stuff when you came out of surgery?
Yeah. I don't think mine was as strict as some of the others that I've seen, but it was pretty structured. There was, if I can remember, there was definitely, the clear liquid phase for the first like 3 to 5 days, and then the full liquids, creamy liquids after a week, and then that was week 2. Week 3 was pureed solids, but I didn't really follow after week 2. So once I got to the second week out of surgery, I was eating, chicken salad, stuff that was able to chew up and swallow small.
Yeah, I never made anything in the blender because that sounded disgusting.
Oh no, I never pureed anything.
It sounded so gross. Did he have a nutrition plan that you were supposed to follow long term?
No. We did have a nutritionist that for the first year you can go see whenever you wanted. You can make appointments every day of the week if you wanted to, which was great. And that was helpful after the 6 month mark, after that kind of rapid weight loss started slowing down, to get kind of new ways to up protein, lower carbs, and find out what you can do to help revamp your diet. Because especially by 6 months, you're just so sick of the protein shakes and focusing so much on the protein. And I remember she was able to give me kind of alternative solutions to things, and so I did do that for the first year I met with her.
Did they have a carb or a calorie goal for you?
In the beginning there was a calorie intake, like maximum. I forget honestly what that was. For myself, maintaining, through the first 6 months, I think I stuck around 1,200. Now I don't track. Yeah.
I haven't tracked for the last 5 weeks. I'm getting back on, because I've been traveling. I'm getting back on track with tracking tomorrow. But like I said, I'm still losing. You're maintaining. Yeah.
All right. So, what has been your most powerful moments through this journey, and what has given you the most joy?
Well, I think I kind of touched on it before. I think the most powerful part of the journey was, well, see, that's hard to say. There was a lot of really amazing things that came out of this, especially in the first year. I think the most powerful part was being happy with myself and coming to a point in my life that I was able to be happy with myself and all aspects of myself. Um, yeah. Aside from that, what was the second part of that question?
Which has given you the most joy?
Definitely, the most joy out of this whole experience after surgery was the social aspect. The socialization that I got. I wasn't, like an introvert by any means, but I kind of got stuck. A few years prior to surgery, kind of got stuck with kind of living my life in a certain way and surrounding myself with the same people and not really expanding my social circle. And so when I decided to make my first video, and then the awesome experience that I got in meeting everybody and going to all the meetups, and then the conferences and the little mini meetups, and finding what I consider to be some lifelong friendships has been the most joyful, I think, for me.
Yeah, and I know you and we had talked about before social anxiety and how that used to be so crippling, but it's hard for people to think of you as being a shy, socially awkward person. I have the same thing happen to me, too.
Yeah?
I cannot think of you as a socially
Oh,
anxious
you
person.
guys should have college.
That was the 45-year-old you.
Yeah, that was a 45-year-old man with a beard and a gut.
Okay, so let's talk about relationships. Usually we ask, has your relationship changed post-op? So obviously you had a big change post-op in terms of relationships. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So pre-op was living a lie. I pre-op was dating women. God knows why. And post-op, I'm now dating guys.
Right.
Like I said before, after surgery, definitely was able to kind of break down some of those, social anxieties about meeting new people after I was able to kind of meet everyone through the community. Because it's different when you're meeting someone you have such a strong bond with already. It kind of helps to break down your social anxiety. So that was a nice way of kind of losing some of that. And then once I started to feel more comfortable about meeting people, and then obviously coming out, I was able to even think about dating, because the thought of going on a date before was just, anxiety provoking in and of itself. So that was a big change. As far as relationships go, like I said before, actually I went almost a year to the day. I met this guy. He was the guy I talked about in my videos. After I came out, I met him. He was the first guy I went on a date with. I met him through online dating. He was the first guy I went on a date with at Starbucks. Headed off, started dating, and kind of ended up really. I mean, there's the joke out there for gay guys, and or even lesbians. So what does a lesbian bring on her second date? And they say a U-Haul.
Moving van.
Yeah. So it was so true, because it was my first relationship, and I totally jumped right in. We got really serious really quickly, and I was all about it, because for the first time I was able to be happy and felt real feelings in a relationship. So that was a big experience for me, and kind of jumped right into it. And after 5 months of dating, decided we were going to move in together.
Mhm.
And we did. We lived together for a few months, and like I said, it didn't work out for several reasons. But now, after we broke up, after I moved back in with my parents, I went back into dating, and it was a whole different ball game this time because it wasn't my first time, at the rodeo. So.
Okay, so wait a minute. Is the
Yeah.
guy that you posted pictures with on Halloween somebody different?
Yeah, this is my new boyfriend.
Okay, well, you very much have a type, obviously.
I know.
It's the same guy.
I know. Everyone says that. They're like, wait, is this the same guy? Different
It's
guy?
a different guy. Well, that's when you first said that. I was like, wait a minute, but I saw those pictures yesterday. It looks just like the same guy.
Oh, yeah. They do look very similar, but they're very, very different.
Yeah.
So
Kirk had a question about that.
what's that?
I'm sure you want to hear what Kirk's question is.
Well,
Has Bobby disclosed to his man that he's technically in a plural weight loss surgery marriage and has a gaggle of non-sexual lovers?
oh boy, no, I haven't disclosed that yet. And
Is he watching tonight? Then he knows. Yeah.
So he's gonna find out.
I guess. So can I tell you a story about how you embarrassed me with your coming out video?
What? Tell me.
So we went, Sherry, the real Cher Bear was here with her girlfriend Lisa to get surgery like pretty close after we met at Obesity Health last year. And so we're at lunch and she's asking, is Bobby gay? I'm like, no, because every woman at OH was like in love with him and we talked about it. He's like, I don't shit where I eat. And then I got home that night and your video was online. I'm like, okay, I'm the most naive person ever.
Perfect.
You totally had me fooled because we had a long conversation about that because every woman there was after you.
Oh man, yeah, I got good at the act, I guess.
Yeah. So your new boyfriend knows about your weight loss surgery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you tell that right away? I'm just experiencing that.
Yeah, I mean, with the
Patty says she's dying laughing, but anyway.
That's good. With the first guy that I was with, I told him, on the first date actually. I had mentioned, I had weight loss surgery, and then it was like a whole different thing, and it still is a very weird thing. As far as like physical concerns, once we started getting, intimate or physical, that's when like I had to be like, oh shit, like by the way, like because of the weight loss surgery, I have a lot of flab.
Well, that's why I say it looks way better with clothes on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But so far, neither guy has really minded. Is that a word? Minded?
Yeah.
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 Just really.
Okay. Cool. Anything else you want to say about relationships? You're all good.
No, that's really it. So far, so good.
Awesome.
All right. So, do you feel that your career or friendships have been affected by your weight loss? And if so, how?
Yeah, definitely the friendships. I think I made a video about this. I have a few a few of my best friends who I think halfway through like my 1 year confronted me about like how I've changed after surgery, and how they weren't happy with who I was becoming, and so that was kind of a really scary part in my 1 year that wasn't so good. That I was having a lot of positive social interactions with the whole weight loss community, and then kind of losing touch with my people here at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really scary for me. But now everything's cool. They're still my best friends, and no issues here. But I think definitely as far as friendships go, I made a lot of new lifelong friends through the weight loss surgery community. As far as work goes, I really don't know. if it has any impact on like my work,
Do you feel
um,
more confident?
definitely has my own impact. Yeah, an impact
Mm-hmm.
on me and my confidence at work.
Right.
Yeah.
My ability, because now I'm a supervisor now. I just got a new job, and I don't know if I would have A, been considered for a position as a supervisor, or B, felt comfortable even going for a position as a supervisor
Yeah.
um, before surgery. So definitely.
Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about the weight loss surgery community already and what impact it had. How did it feel to be one of the few men that was really active in the community?
I think it was, it's really cool. When I first started watching videos, it was Kirk and Joey G.
Mm-hmm.
That I really was I was watching more in the beginning. And when I started making videos, I kind of was, looking to them for kind of some guidance, and um, I think it's definitely kind of I think it actually helped me because the few guys that were in the community were gay. So
Right. Yeah.
it certainly helped in my own process, I think, to really start considering that possibility earlier on. But it in a way it kind of was like my regular life because I always surrounded myself more with women anyway, so I felt very comfortable in the community because of it. Yeah.
And you mentioned Kirk and Joey. Are there other people whose journeys inspired you and you watched early on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Sarah. You know, I definitely connected with Sarah, Kirk, Joey in the beginning, and then after that, kind of, how we do it, like,
Right.
branching out and finding who they follow and who comments on their videos, that I started meeting everyone else. But those three were like the three beginning people that I really kind of connected with.
Yeah, Kirk, you need to make a video too if you're watching. I haven't seen you in a while.
Kirky Kirk.
Yeah.
And we're going to have Joey G on soon.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of the year, yeah.
All right. So, being 2 years out, food and how we handle it changes. So, how are you handling food now, so far out from surgery?
Well, certainly am not, like I said, I'm not tracking anymore. Not so focused on all the rules, protein first, lower carbs and all that. I still drink my protein shakes. So
How many protein shakes do you drink?
I do one a day.
Yeah, for breakfast or?
I usually do it for breakfast because otherwise I don't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
So I'll do that like on my way to work or while I'm at work. Aside from that, I really don't follow any strict protocol. I definitely need to kind of rein it in a little bit. I've been losing track with the whole. I'm definitely like doing a lot of carbs, more carbs than I should be. And the whole gym thing. Those are like two of my big goals. Get back on track with the carbs and going back to the gym.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you have any food addiction, compulsive overeating, emotional eating stuff that happens? And if so, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean I'm afraid that's kind of a lifelong thing I'm gonna be stuck with. There's good days and bad days, but 100% I still struggle with the food addiction and still struggle a lot with emotional eating. Anytime it's a rough day, anytime I'm having issues, arguments, whatever, the first thing it is to cope with food. So my way of trying to make it a little more positive is not going to what I used. I mean, it happens. I'll go to the bag of chips, whatever.
Yeah.
But trying to, if I am going to cope with food, I'm going to try and cope with better food, better options. So that's how I kind of deal with that, because that's never going to change for me.
Yeah.
So I have a question or a comment, and I think a question we sort of already covered, from Melody Lees, who's Zen Maiden. She says, I'm watching, love Bobby. He's so fun and amazing. You're so fun and amazing.
Oh, God.
We miss you. You have to make a video. So she says, we talked a little bit about your maintenance range and what you're doing. What is your range? Is it like when it gets to 190, it's when you need to seriously go to the gym? Yeah.
I don't want to see 190. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen. My maintenance range was technically like 175 to 185. So right now I'm at 187. I'm just going to try it. I think my goal is just to keep it under 190.
Yeah, I hear you. She says, that's awesome that your parents have all had weight loss surgery. How has living your authentic life since coming out helped you with your weight?
Well, yeah, that's actually kind of an interesting thing, because, it was the weight loss that was able to get me to come out 100%. That's like the major thing. I was happy with every aspect of my life, who I was becoming, and then I was able to, address that last concern by coming out. After coming out, I think the whole emotional eating definitely got better, because, obviously I was stuffing my face, trying to cover up emotions associated with my own issues with my sexuality. But I think after coming out, I think the emotional eating definitely a lot easier to handle, and I'm less, I'm less concerned with a lot of things.
Yeah. And this also reminds me, I just got a message from Lindsay Fly, and she wanted to know, how come you're not coming to Portland?
Don't bring it up. Yeah,
so go to Portland. It's really fun. I had an awesome time and got my nose pierced while I was there.
I know. And that's like one of my places I really want to go to. After I saw Seattle, I was like, oh my God, I have to come back to the West Coast. I want to see Portland. Yeah, I was planning on going to Portland. They're doing like a little Friendsgiving. But I just started a new job, and I can't take any time off.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
When are you coming back to California?
Oh my God, if I could move there tomorrow, I'd do that.
Well, that's what you were talking about, and then all of a sudden you disappear off YouTube.
No, I think in the long term, I really do picture myself coming to the West Coast.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome here. And we have a room for you. My son moved out. You're welcome to it anytime.
I'll take you out on that offer.
So if you could give a couple of tips to newbies, what would you say almost 2 years post-op?
Let's see. Well, I guess it doesn't really affect them now, but I think if you're new either pre-op or post-op, if you're a newbie in this WLS community, I think one thing that should be focused on is making meaningful, maintainable changes. It's really important, especially during the first year, using that, because we have a lot of positive reinforcement with what we're losing, seeing the pounds shed off, using that time of really keeping the motivation to start lifelong patterns, for yourself, and not losing them, because as we know, for those of us later out, it's very easy after the pounds come off to start losing that motivation and to start forgetting, what you set up for yourself during that first year. And I'm realizing that now, that there's some things that I need to revisit that I really stuck to in my first year, and I lost kind of sight of that. So I think making the changes as soon as you can that you're gonna be able to stick with for the long term.
Yeah, that's great advice.
All right, so we always do a segment at the end of our shows, and so it's time to play Inside the WLS Questions. All right, so I'm going to give you questions, and give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh God, okay.
So, what is your favorite word?
Shit.
what is your least favorite word?
Slick.
Slick. Okay.
Slick. All right. So what turns you on? Creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Nature.
Nature. Okay.
Yeah.
So what turns you off?
Arrogance.
All right.
It's supposed to be like a free association thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah.
It's like Inside the Actors Studio. They do it at the end of that show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what is your favorite curse word?
Shit.
All right. So favorite word and favorite curse word. Okay. Awesome. So what sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound of like leaves.
Yeah, like the sound of fall. It's
Yeah,
crisp.
perfect. I
Yeah.
have my windows open now.
Yeah. So what sound or noise do you hate?
Coughing, sneezing.
So, all right. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I always wanted to be a nurse.
Ah, that's good. What profession would you not like to do?
I could never work in as like a babysitter or a nanny for little kids. I hate.
Because you say shit too much.
Yeah. Because they shit.
It's because they shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I hate crying babies. I can't stand them.
Well, and they sneeze and cough a lot too. So.
Yep. You got it.
So awesome. Okay, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
That's so hard. I don't know.
Who was it who said that they hope that they watch their videos? Maybe Sarah.
I hope he just says, shit, this guy.
And he doesn't cough or sneeze.
Right.
And then you flash the deuces.
And then, yeah.
Deuces.
Yeah, just like deuces. Oh, bringing it back.
Okay, can I say how good it is to see you?
It has been so wonderful to see you guys.
And I want to say, hopefully, that when we post this video, you will be able to make comments. So please make comments so Bobby can see how much you love him, and so that he will come back and make more videos.
I promise you all, I'm giving you my word, and for those of you who know me, I don't go against my word, except for when...
You do.
Except for when I do.
Yeah.
I am going to make a 2-year video in December, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a month from now.
He's gonna get his thoughts together.
Yeah, I'll have a lot of time to plan.
Okay.
Right. So, and trust me, everybody will watch it. We all want to know what's going on in your life.
Well, now
I mean, we really do miss you, and you know, you can make videos where you don't talk about weight loss surgery, just what's going on.
Yeah.
And that way we would know that the guy in your picture who looks just like the old guy is actually a new guy.
I can't wait for him to watch this and be like, what the fuck?
Okay, so next week, so thank you, Bobby, for being here. It really was
Thank
great
you
to
for
see
having me. I had a blast.
And next week we're actually gonna have to like tone it down and get in control, because we're gonna have our first non-weight loss surgery patient guest.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Dr. Timothy Katzen, who's a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills.
Cool.
How cool is that? So no champagne before that show.
That's right. You
Right.
got to keep it legit next week.
Got to keep it together. Patty will be our co-host. So Patty and I will be co-hosting that show. She's actually having surgery with Dr. Katzen this month. So that's exciting. And we've gotten a lot of great questions. And he's actually monitoring the questions because I tagged him in the post. So feel free to send me your questions for him. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. Yeah, they're flying here, too. So Dr. Katzen next week. The following week, I'm not going to be here because I'm going to be in a fashion show. And so Jennifer will be hosting, and Jim Haney, who's actually a co-host, will be the guest. So you guys can tune in on the 15th for that.
That'll be fun.
Awesome.
All right, guys. I think that's all we have for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.